Hi, everyone. My name's John Lear.
I'm Chase O'Donnell.
And welcome to Generation Gab. I'm the recent... No. God damn it.
You're not the recent grad.
Let me try again.
Okay, this is called the Generation Gap.
My generation, baby.
Welcome to Generation Gab with a fun dad.
And semi-recent grad.
Right. And I was saying to you that my friend thinks it should be rad dad. That sounds slightly...
More Generation X.
It also feels like a put down. There's something very cynical and sarcastic. Oh, rad dad, you're a rad. You know what I mean? I feel like it makes me. It's an insult, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I think rad is good.
Okay.
You're rad.
You see what I mean? Even when you say it.
Try to guess which one's the dad and which one's the recent grad.
I just got a haircut. And my gray is just cut more. Every time I get it cut, all of the hair on my chest is all gray.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you ever want to dye it?
No, I never want to dye it, but I do dye it for
you
certain jobs.
To brown your your natural?
As my friend Nancy says, America doesn't really like old people, John. And she's absolutely right.
It's true.
But I prefer not to. I prefer just to leave it as it is. But there's an upcoming job where I've already been instructed that I will have to dye it.
Brown.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't dye your hair.
I have highlights.
Yeah, but that's highlights. That's not to cover anything.
I don't have grays yet.
And this show, for those of you who are just tuning in, is about the differences and similarities between a Gen Xer like myself and a millennial like my friend Chase here.
Yes.
Have you reached the point, because millennials are coming up in age now.
I know.
We're into 20s, 30s.
I feel like a lot of millennials are mid-30s.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I guess a lot of them are my age too.
Yeah. I mean, I think, that's true. I think you're getting on the outer edge of what a millennial is once you're approaching, the closer you get to 40.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we take over.
I feel like 40's Generation X.
Yeah. Well, then we take over after that.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Have you reached, and maybe this is an embarrassing and improper question, but have you reached the point in your life where you're starting to fight the aging process in terms of cosmetics or surgery or dyeing or clothing?
Okay, so great question, John. I was at a wedding. No, I wasn't. I was at an engagement party this weekend.
Oh, did you chill on Netflix and chill?
No, I did not.
That's my millennial talk.
Not at the engagement party. There was no Netflix. And it was one of the girls that I went to college with, so a lot of my sorority sisters were there, and guys from the frats were there.
Oh boy!
And I hadn't seen them in forever. And we're 28 now.
Yeah, this is when it starts happening. You're in that phase where everybody starts getting married and stuff.
Yeah.
And you go to 9 weddings a year. I remember that period.
Everyone's getting engaged.
Yes.
So the girl that was getting married, her younger sister is 18.
Okay.
And she was there. And all the frat guys were like, oh my God, she's so hot.
Yep.
Oh my God, your sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm old. I'm no longer the oh, look, the fresh...
super young. The inappropriate. You're no longer inappropriately young and hot.
Yeah, they were like,
you're now appropriately
hot. Even though
hot.
I thought, no, we're has-beens.
No. Let me tell you.
the guys were phrasing it.
Well, but you had millennial guys there. You need some Gen X, older, creepy guys hanging around you. Yeah. Do you get hit on by older Gen X guys?
I don't know.
I think
because I don't know. I confuse flirting with just being nice. So
right.
People
God.
could just be being nice, flirting with me, but I think they're just being nice.
Right. Well, I mean, who knows the difference? I mean, who navigates that well? Do you know somebody who does know the difference between flirting and being nice?
No, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's really confusing for people.
It's on both sides, especially, in this new climate. I feel like maybe I should just be mean to all, or, standoffish and just not say anything.
Same.
Because if I'm nice to a person younger than me, and this is oversimplifying it, and believe me, I do understand what is appropriate in this new age, but there also is some real gray area where you're just like, what the fuck do I do here?
Yeah, men are canceled.
Yes.
White men.
White men are over.
Yeah.
We're over. And you know what? I welcome it. I think it's a better world without us. I as one of the members of the white male world, I'm ready to go down and retire. We're done. We're obsolete. That's what we are. We're obsolete. And let me tell you something about what you experienced at that party. You have no idea what's headed your way. That's nothing. I laugh. I laugh at that the difficulty you had with those men. Wait till you turn invisible.
Oh.
Invisible.
Oh, I don't.
I go to the gym and I'm invisible. The people don't even they don't see me at all.
But you used to be.
I mean, I never really got much attention. I was never in the hot category. But, I was young and crazy with long hair and I got attention a little bit.
I feel like you having your own TV show at like a prime time of your life was probably incredible.
You mean in terms of getting laid or getting hit on?
Well,
but I was married through it all. Yeah.
But I just mean I bet you were getting so much attention.
Yeah, that's true. I would get some. Now, just recently, I was complaining about my hair because my hair has started to get crazy. It just goes crazy. It goes weird, goes crazy. Mm-hmm. And I was mentioning it to a friend. I was like, God, I don't know what to do with my hair. And a woman walked by, an attractive woman, younger than me, and said, I wouldn't do anything. And walked into a restaurant. And let me tell you, I will live on that for about 6 years. That's how rare anything like that happens. So getting old, Chase,
giving you a really good compliment.
Or just noticing me. just the fact that I wasn't invisible. I mean, you have no idea. Getting old is really, really freaky deaky. It's scary, depressing, bad, and wrong. And you find yourself just wishing for death.
And young people think that we'll be young forever.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're not.
And you're not. And it is all of a sudden. Ugh. I'm snapping.
I'm going to have to start using eye cream.
You have a very baby face, so you're in good shape.
Well, right now I can still pass for college.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But you have you're lucky, I think. You have
but I'm going to have to do something soon.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do.
Some of my friends are getting Botox.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you could do it. I wouldn't do it.
I'm not going to do it till...
I have a feeling... How does your mom look? You always look at the mom. Good, then you're going to be fine.
She spends 2 hours in the bathroom every morning getting ready.
Oh, my God.
Her whole routine. That's why she's gorgeous. She has face creams and eye cream.
Well, start talking to her. We should both talk to her. Maybe she can hold me back a little bit. Let's have your mom on and talk about face creams.
You have no wrinkles.
Well, that's because of heroin. Heroin tickled me. I'm not kidding. Heroin it has a lot of downsides. But it makes your skin But it does pickle you. Yeah, it does pickle you.
What's pickle?
Like when you put a pickle, when you pickle something, it saves it forever. It kind of holds it,
Really?
Yeah.
That's what heroin does?
Well, that's what they say.
I thought heroin...
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Spill.
Shit. All right. We're back. I have made a terrible, terrible mistake. I didn't plug the board into the computer. And Chase is being so nice about it, but I know what your internal monologue
Not at
is.
all.
This fucking idiot.
It sounded good, but now we sound better.
Oh, I feel terrible. Anyway, thank you.
So now we have microphones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Classic Gen X.
Oh, classic. Well, we didn't have... Here's the thing that I need for you to understand about me. There was a period of my adult life when I was your age that there were no cell phones.
That's wild to me.
No internet.
That's wild.
No Google.
None
of that.
Wild.
None. I was in a place. I was on vacation, or not on vacation, but it was a working vacation.
Okay.
And I went to a museum, and at the museum they had an index file. Have you ever used an index file? Do you know what an index file is?
Yes, it has like A to B,
Right.
C to D,
Yes.
and you go through.
Well, they're those little square drawers.
Yes.
And there was stacks of them. And each drawer had cards in them, index cards.
Uh-huh.
And on those cards would be every single book or periodical in the library. And so you would look up a book through those.
Yes, the library.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Well, they taught me that in elementary school.
I know. They even taught my son. I was like, what the hell? Why the hell do you need to know this? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you don't need to know this.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Or spelling or handwriting. Like, why are we teaching any of that? There's
Yeah.
no need for that.
I think you should know how to write.
All right.
But I understand, like, you could also get by just, like, on your phone.
Yeah. I mean, with autocorrect, why know how to spell anything?
Yeah, don't give them spelling tests.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
We're
that's ridiculous.
we're on Generation Gab, we're anti-spelling tests, everybody.
Yes, and, like, the spelling bee?
Who cares?
Who cares?
We all have computers in our pockets.
Yeah, just look it up. Just ask Google.
Let's memorize other stuff from now on.
Yeah.
Test each other.
Okay, that's such a good point.
Let's memorize rap lyrics. My kids don't even, they listen to everything on YouTube, all music.
Yeah.
And then they just scroll down and they have all the lyrics always posted there.
Yeah. No, you can always just look at the lyrics.
Yeah.
But isn't it cool when a song comes on and you just know it?
Yes. I love that
I think that's
feeling.
a great party trick.
I love that feeling.
Yeah.
I got a fever of 103. Come on, baby, you can do more than dance. I'm hot-blooded, hot-blooded. Ow! Do you know that song?
I know, but I don't know the words.
It's a foreigner.
And how
yeah.
great would it be if I could just chime in?
Oh my God! I was sort of hoping you might
I
be.
got a baby on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Or is that a different song?
Wow, they're absolutely. God, you're right.
Oh, is that a different
Maybe
song?
Michael Jackson ripped them off.
Oh,
Foreigner.
That's Michael Jackson. I can't listen to him anymore.
Yeah,
Remember?
he's out. He's out.
He's canceled.
You might be able to hear my dog in the background, which I apologize. I'm really dropping the ball today. Really dropping the ball.
No, it adds a level of relatability.
Now, at this, let's go back, if
Okay.
we can, to the party that you attended.
Okay.
And it's a we're getting engaged party.
No, we are engaged.
We are
party.
engaged party, and it's all of your friends. And was there a feeling in your heart of like, wow, it's time for me? Were you feeling pressure, or were you going into that horrible place we all go where it's like, why am I not engaged? I should be engaged. It's time to be engaged. Look at them. They're engaged. That horrible.
No, because my sister is single and she's 2 years older than me. My
Oh, good.
best
As long
friend
as she
just went-
stays,
Yeah.
you're good.
My best friend just broke up with her boyfriend. A lot of people are single right now in my
Good.
life, so
Okay.
I'm totally fine.
So it hasn't tipped.
And also, I'm like, I am so focused on career. I don't want a relationship.
I'm thrilled as part of your career, as a portion of your career. I'm thrilled that you're not in a
Thank
relationship.
you. I feel like I'll get in a relationship, but then again, maybe I'm going to be invisible by that point.
No, I don't think so, Chase.
Oh my God.
I think at this point you just have to figure out kind of, what you're willing to tolerate in a relationship.
Well, I
That's
think
the part that
they
I think
just take up a lot of time. I already told you this.
Yeah, they take up a lot of time. They want your attention.
Mm-hmm.
They need feedback, constant feedback, and
Mm-hmm.
and the guys you tend to go with, are a little dude bro, too. So you're not getting like, you like those guys with the baseball hat.
Can I read you a text I got from a guy?
From the party?
No, it was another guy.
Okay, here we go.
But
This
you
is
want-
my favorite part of our podcast.
I wanna
I'm
hear
constantly,
how-
I feel like I'm constantly trying to steer us to this point because I live vicariously like a succubus.
A male succubus.
So I said I was in San Diego for the engagement party. And he
Oh,
goes, well, why the Helen are you doing down there?
Why the Helen? Oh, boy.
It's a great city, no disrespected intending, but WTF. Hope all is well, of course. Boilerplate meant respond, right? Well, to be real with you, I just napped on my couch. It was absolutely fantastic. Took me a minute upon awaking to get back to ground zero, but now I'm appreciative of the process. Have never considered myself a napper, but I am learning it all kosher.
Okay, that gentleman's a sociopath. I mean, that is, there's severe mental illness there. I'm very concerned. That there's not one trace of authenticity in that text.
Was he trying to sound impressive?
Or like a human. He was trying to sound like a human. And I feel for him. As a human, I feel for him. And I would love to help him if I could, which I can't. I don't have those skills. But in terms of like bringing him into my friend's life or endorsing that, no way.
No.
I
was so confused.
I mean, I feel for him. I really do, because I understand that being aware of yourself and watching yourself dig yourself, that's
text message.
Another failure on my part. I feel that I feel for him, but at the same time, that's somebody who could just stab you in the neck in your sleep. I think
that's so true.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah,
that text was scary.
Yeah, I'm sort of chilled by that. Doesn't anybody? We've got to learn how to just say, "Hey, we're flawed. I'm flawed. I'm a flawed, horrible person. But I think you're fun." And I'd like to, hang out, but I understand if, my flawness doesn't work with your flawness or something. I don't know, man. But that, for real. The minute he said for real, I knew he wasn't for real.
Oh, he said for real?
Oh my God, my son just let the dogs in.
Who let the dogs out? Who? Mm-hmm. Do you know that song?
Yes, I do. Did you remember? Oh, yeah, I'll come right back out. This is Dueling Banjo. Do you remember Arsenio Hall? Do you remember his show?
I thought Arsenio Hall
the Dog Pound.
I thought it was a theater.
Oh my God, no! Jeez, it was a talk show.
Arsenio Hall. I'd be like, oh, where is that?
God, it's so. Why are we so? Both of us are so tickled by this. We're so tickled by the things that the other one doesn't know. It's such a fun thing finding that space where it's like, if you know this, you were Gen X, and if you don't, you're not. I love finding that. I want to
go back to, there was a portion of your adult life that you didn't have Google.
Yeah.
I want to know what that was like.
It was weird. I mean, thinking about it, I remember.
But you didn't know that you didn't have Google.
Right. We didn't know. So nobody. The thing is it made conversations a lot more elongated because people were like, you know how people now say, oh, there are studies that show, and when they say that, they haven't read dick about shit. They don't know any study. Yeah. They're just making that up. And then, and there's sort of the understanding like, hey, of course, we could go on Google and we could find out studies that say this, but we could also find studies that say that. And then we'd have to drill down and realize that the study you're citing about, say, vaccinations, only one doctor still endorses that thing, and you're using that to say studies show.
Yeah.
Even that process takes a minute, Yeah. Now imagine that same conversation, but no way to track it unless we all go to the library. And it's not.
No one's going to do it.
No one's going to do it. And so there was, I think, a place where people didn't even try to go down that road.
Do you think more people lied?
Yes, and I also think logic itself was used more often rather than
facts.
Proof. Because logic, it was just logically, do you think it's a better idea to vaccinate us all so that we all don't die versus not, because there might be problem until we know for sure? And you could have that conversation and you'd ultimately say, yes, okay, yes, I grant you, we should probably vaccinate for now.
Yeah.
That's all over now because not only
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad about you guys. I feel like you guys fall into this Google hole and you don't know how to get out. You're like, it puts the lotion on its skin. It does it when it's told, from, you probably don't know that, Silence from the Lambs. You ever seen that movie?
I've seen it.
Okay. Well, the guy that puts his victim in a pit. And I feel like you guys are the victim in the pit and you can't get out.
Yeah, I feel like...
Because there is no facts. There never were facts. There's never been facts.
Oh.
There's just people try to put on more and more evidence, and at some point you say, okay, yeah, I'm going with this one because it's got more evidence.
Yeah.
There's no facts. I mean, even math, that's a log 10 system. All of those math facts that we all learned, it's a log 10 system. Why do we use a log 10 system? Because we have 10 fingers.
Oh.
We could use a log 8 system, which changes everything. But we don't. It's all subjective. Everything's subjective.
Math is subjective?
Yes. Yes. There's no proof of anything. Like when you can have a conversation about like, are we, are we inside a computer program or not? That pretty much throws everything out the window.
I've been thinking a lot about are we all in a computer system? I don't know why, but recently I've just, every day I'm like, where am I? Mm-hmm. I'm just floating in space. And what space? And I'm really been having those thoughts in my head. And what is this all for?
And I put this food in my mouth and it comes out my ass. Like, what the fuck is this all about? The big question. And so, okay, these quote unquote facts we have inside that big question, okay, they're fine, whatever. But, there's still the big question. Are we even really here?
Yeah. And what happens once we're not here?
Nothing.
I'm having so much philosophical. That's what's going on in this journal.
No, well, here's what I think here's as your friend, I would say this to you. Just welcome death. Welcome it with open arms. The sweet sleep. The final, It's fine. It's there's and it kind of takes it takes all the like we don't need to attach meaning to anything.
Yeah.
We really don't. Let's just go through this and get through it and get to the other side and then we'll be done.
And then you're done forever.
Maybe. I mean, then you got the big mystery.
Then then I feel like, then there's a whole other thing.
Right. God, that's so interesting. I feel like these questions you're having are a sign of your age. I think we all start to become. You're beginning. You're just beginning. Oh. And it happened at that engagement party. Where you just begin to feel your mortality on a super visceral level.
Oh my gosh.
You now know you're going to get old and die.
Yeah.
In a way that you didn't know before then.
Whoa. All because of this engagement party.
Fuck yeah. I mean, listen, marriages and funerals are big. They're big.
Those are big milestones.
Have you had any friends who've died?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a trip.
But not a close friend, but I did go to the funeral.
Mm-hmm. And die of a violent death or die of a natural death or health
Suicide.
reason? Okay. But then there's the deaths that start happening at my age.
Because of sickness.
Yeah.
Where
the cells
really
are just shutting down.
It really gets me sad.
Yeah, and it makes me sad, of course, but it also scares the fuck out of you in a deep, deep way because it's coming. The train's coming.
And then you're like, well, I have so much more to do.
Yeah.
I want to do.
And I think that's the part we need to not
worry about.
No, I think that we've got so much to do. I think we should put less attention on that and put more on whatever. It's gonna, you know what?
Whatever.
I
love that. Whatever. I think I need to do that with just everything in my life too, not just death, but just any situation that I get caught up on, I just need to go, whatever.
I know. If only you could turn that on. That's the problem. You can't really hit that switch.
Yeah.
That whatever switch.
Because life, you're in it, but then you have to take yourself and be like,
You know
whatever.
what helps me is when I'm walking around, I try to think about how many hundreds of thousands of primates have died on this very spot that I'm standing over the millennia of human existence or hominid existence.
this very spot.
Thousands where we're sitting.
Really?
Oh my God, how many Neanderthals just all of a sudden died or got gored by a saber-toothed tiger or, just thousands. And then all the way up through the 1500s and some Native American died here. And then, just all the piles and piles of bodies that would be here.
Oh my gosh. Do you believe in ghosts?
I want to. And I have friends who really love it. But I don't know. I mean, it's not that I don't believe. I'm not taking a stand. I just don't give a crap, Unless I have an interaction with one, I'm just sort of like, okay.
I've heard stories from people who I trust.
Right.
So then I go, it must be true.
Yeah, well, okay. Listen, I'm not going to...
But I've never encountered a ghost.
Right. Listen, I hope they're around. That means that we're going to have something after this, but I don't know. A ghost? That just seems so weird to me. Haunting?
Yeah.
I have friends who, they all have, there's big ghost hunters now. People who buy devices on, you can flip that up. My dog is trying to chew on my wife's fancy.
I don't want it to
Oh
get
my God.
ruined.
You can buy equipment now where you go and hunt ghosts.
Oh, like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. We have a puppy. My son just let the dogs in while we're doing our podcast, and the puppy has come right over here. And Chase is so nice.
No. I know. I'm really nice.
You are really nice. We were talking about this earlier, and this is another thing. I think, you and I share in our desire to be nice.
Yes.
We both want to be seen as nice, and I think we are nice.
But by being nice, sometimes it makes me actually terrible because then I'll hurt people more because I was being nice.
Because you're lazy. You're lazy in that you won't tell them what needs to be said. Yeah. Because you're afraid. You're afraid.
But I'm being nice, but
God,
then it's hurting them really because I'm not being truthful.
Right. At the party, was there any guys at all that were, and I know you already kind of answered this. You said, I don't know the difference between flirting and being nice. But looking back, was there one, if you had to pick one that you were like, like part of your antenna went up?
There was, I'm going to cut this out.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
If it sounds
That's
too
fine.
cocky.
All right.
There was one guy who I've known since like 7th grade, and he showed me a text message that he received the day before from his friend that said, out of the blue, I've never been more attracted to Chase O'Donnell.
Ooh.
I said,
And was the friend there, the one who texted it?
no. And then he wrote back saying, why? Because of her stand-up? And then he said, that's part of it, just her magnetism.
Ooh. I love that.
I told him, I said, that is so lovely to hear.
Yes.
And then he was like, do you want me to set this up? And I was like, no, I've been breaking too many hearts.
Well, you have a classic look, too. You're blonde, blue-eyed, you're funny, you're very attractive.
Right now,
And
I'm
you're
going to be
and
invisible.
You have a good personality, yeah, but it's all going to go away.
It's all going to go away.
All of it.
I really need to eat this up.
We didn't have the dating apps.
I know.
We didn't have it. You can go out on 9 dates a day if you want to.
You know what I think describes your generation to a T?
Yes.
If you like pina colada.
Yes. You had to put a personal in the paper.
Yes.
I never did that.
You just went to bars.
Yeah, I just waited till the last girl was there and she would go home with me and then I'd date her for 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that is what I did.
Yeah.
But I never, ever put, I never would put a personal in the newspaper.
So that's kind of like the people today that are on like OkCupid.
Yes.
Because that's weird to me.
So OkCupid is not about hooking up. It's just about meeting and having a cup of coffee.
That's about like, let's get married.
Well, why not? I mean, why not meet them for coffee at a Starbucks? I mean, it's the same.
I personally feel like OkCupid, Match.com, all the ones that were like before Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and all those. I feel like those make you seem a little desperate.
What, to who? To the people on it? I mean, who's going to know?
Right. I guess all of them are desperate.
I mean, aren't we, we're all desperate. Everybody's desperate to be loved.
I wouldn't want to tell someone I was on OkCupid. I'd be embarrassed.
What if I made it part of the podcast that you have to be on OkCupid? Then you could blame it on the podcast.
Right. I'd be like, I'm
and
doing
me.
this as a joke.
Yeah,
No.
my stupid old dude podcast person is making me get on OkCupid.
Yeah, I mean, that would be better.
Okay, let's do it. Why don't we put you on OkCupid?
You pay for OkCupid.
How much is it?
I don't know.
All right, well, let's find that out.
I don't have the budget.
What about JDate?
I think you pay for all those.
Really?
Yeah, for the websites.
Oh, that's so weird.
But hey, listen, I've never done it, so maybe not.
I feel like the Grinder and Tinder and all of those are just for the birds. I feel like that just feels like a swamp.
Those are like, they're just,
To hook up.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I have friends of mine who are in their 50s who are getting divorced, and now they're going on Tinder, and they can't believe it. They cannot, but they're like, oh my God, John, I can't. Because if you're somewhat sane and in your 50s, you can date women from late 30s to 50s.
yeah, you can.
And they're out of their minds because they've been sleeping with the same person for 30 years.
They're excited.
And now they're just like, holy shit. These women like think I'm kind of, I'm not invisible to them.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
You're not invisible in your 50s.
But they kind of get weird. It gets weird. It's like a drug or something. Like it starts to get weird, and then they eventually settle in with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's you normally closer to their own age.
You go through phases, I think, with
Yeah.
the apps. It's fun, and then it's like, oh, God. And then you go through another phase.
You got to push through that.
Yeah.
My dear best friend, when he got divorced, I made him get on OkCupid or one of those, and I took pictures of him around the house. Did I tell you this?
No.
I took pictures of him around the house in different costumes to make him look like that because he had no photos of himself. So we took photos of him at a party, and I'd give him a beer to hold. And I produced his profile page.
I love that.
And then I put him on, and he at first loved it. He couldn't believe all these people who wanted to be with him, not sexually necessarily, just hang out with him. Then it shifted into lots of sex with people, and then he was like, over it. These people are all crazy. I cannot do this anymore. And then he pushed through that and got to the place where he would just meet them for coffee. You and I talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Meet him for coffee and then go.
1 hour.
And now he's married to a wonderful woman. Wonderful.
Oh,
like
look at
perfect.
that love
They're
story.
perfect marriage.
They should send that into Tinder. And
I think this was pre-Tinder.
oh, okay. Oh yeah, OkCupid.
It's so interesting because I'm at a place where it's like I'm dug in, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm sort of like looking, okay, I got to keep going, get my kids through college and then die, get them married, maybe walk my daughter down the aisle. That would be
hope.
cool.
Yeah.
But not likely because I had kids late and my family dies young. And you're at this other place where you're like, okay, do I want that? Is that for me? Is that in the cards?
Yeah,
And
you know what your future is in a way.
in a way.
I have no idea.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll make it. I don't know if I'll get married because who knows at this rate? I don't know anything. I might be a single cat lady.
But isn't the thing that we need neither of us know because we could die today in a car accident. Yeah. I mean, we never knew. Yeah. We never, ever, ever knew.
You're right. And then they say, live each day like it's your last.
I can't do that. That's exhausting. I want to live each day like there's going to be a million more so I don't feel any guilt sitting in my underwear watching TV. You know what I mean?
That. You should add that to your set.
Really?
Yeah, that's really funny.
I apologize for the microphone mix-up.
Oh, truly not a problem. Again, relatable.
Okay.
We're just like our listeners.
Well,
oh yeah.
This is a pleasure. I really just look forward to this.
Same.
You do?
I do. Oh, I'm so happy that we were able to do this today and that you guys will be hearing this in a few months. And and this has been your show.
Yeah.
I never know how to sign off.
Well, we know that you're going to be let's get some research done in terms of you getting on one of these terrible dating sites, the ones that you're embarrassed of. Pick one and let's do it.
I don't want to.
Come on. Let's do it.
Just for an experiment?
Yeah. I feel like you keep getting put in these situations. What are the situations we should be putting me in? Let's think about that down the road. Let's put me in some awful situations.
Well, you could go on J-Date and go, it's a joke. I was forced to be here. I'm married.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll do it, but I can tell you this: my wife won't give a crap. But I don't know what purchase that gives us. You know,
This guy sent my mom flowers, and my dad was like, "Go for it."
yeah.
So funny.
But there's something kind of authentic about it. You know, it's like whatever.
Yep.
Who gives a shit?
Whatever. The moral of this episode has been whatever.
Whatever. All right. Well, Chase, thank you so much for coming to my house today to to tape this.
Of course. And peace out.
Peace out. Go Wu-Tang.
Go Wu-Tang. Whatever that means.
Wu-Tang Clan. You know the Wu-Tang Clan.
My generation, baby.